Welcome back. We have been discussing whether the recent power sector reforms like smart metering, delayed payment surcharges can bring back some kind of financial stability to the power sector, both generators and distributors. I've been speaking with the Chairman Manager of REC, Mr. Vivek Dewangan, Harshvardhan Dole of IIFL and Sabyasachi of ICRA Ratings. Gentlemen, thank you for your patience. Mr. Dewangan, we do see some ray of light with the smart metering and the late payment surcharge, which is forcing discoms to pay up. But what they do is they take the loan from you and pay the generators. We will just have tables running about how REC and PFC have sanctioned more loans to the discoms. Do you see any improvement in terms of their ability to pay and even their willingness to repay?
Yes, there has been substantial improvement with the introduction of late payment surcharge, the dues of the Gencos and Transcos, the legacy dues. They have prepared a trajectory, and in maximum 48 installments. Okay. For a period of 4 years, they have to pay the legacy dues. And since with the introduction of LPS, they save around 12% interest that they were paying. So about this, saving about 16,500 crore per annum on account of non-payment of LPS. Okay. One thing one significant thing which has happened is that now discoms have started paying the current dues of the Gencos and Transcos. Yes. That is what has really improved the situation. And legacy due, there is a trajectory, and over a period of 4 years, they'll be gradually reducing their dues.
That's a very major reform. Yes. Go ahead, sir. Sorry.
Department dues were more than 1,30,000 crore. That has come down substantially to about 64,000 crore only. And with the introduction of prepaid smart meter, we are asking them to put in the government department first. Government departments will not be able to avail electricity unless they pay the electricity bill in advance through prepaid smart meter. Okay. I hope that both this LPS and prepaid smart metering are going to play. There'll be a real game changer in improving the financial and operational efficiency of the distribution companies.
Okay. Yeah, and that will not even mean an election problem. If the government departments are being asked, there is no election issue over there. But Mr. Dewangan, just one more doubt. Have the NPAs of discoms started reducing? NPAs as in, days past due.
Yeah, that has also started reducing.
Okay. So there is a tangible improvement on the ground.
Okay. Substantial improvement, yeah.
Substantial, okay. Harsh, what's your sense? And I'm not asking you in terms of whether you will buy NTPC stock or Tata Power stock or HPL Electric stock, but more generally, are you seeing the financial health improving of the generators as well, since they are at the mercy of the distributors?
See, I think one has to give it to the government that they have realized that problem lies at both ends, both while supplying power as well as collecting the dues. And while measures such as prepaid meters, smart meters will improve the cash flow situations, I think what is also necessary is timely tariff revision. If you were to run a check across all the states over the last say 5 or 8 years, the percentage increase in power tariffs across all India basis has been just about 2 to 3%. And that's quite concerning because the actual generation costs have grown much in excess of 2 to 3%. And if you actually were to turn around the discom, in addition to improving the AT&C losses, etc., the cost of actual power has to reflect in the end power tariffs. In my opinion, if the first step is right, I'm hoping that the state and the central government will work together and pass on the actual cost to end consumers, which is the only sustainable solution to turn around the sector. Okay.
Even as you speak,
the other thing which
go ahead. Sorry.
The other thing which I've kind of analyzed or noted is thanks to surge in the power demand across the consumer base, including industrial, commercial, and residential sectors, the surplus so-called generation capacity that India had will no longer exist a couple of years later. And this realization has trickled down within the policymakers, which is kind of making proactive moves such as fast tracking of renewable energy capacity, or CEA kind of, in their recent report advocating additional 13,000 megawatt of coal-based capacity. So these measures certainly will go a long way in terms of, planning the demand-supply equation, as well as, improving the financial state of, the discoms, which is what is the need of the hour.
Okay, so more power supply and perhaps more regular billing and higher tariffs. Actually, when you were speaking, we were running those tariffs sought and tariffs approved by the state electricity regulatory commissions. Okay, we are talking about SERCs. It's a table I picked up from Sabyasachi's report. Sabyasachi, the tariffs are not even hiked this year as much as last year, you point out, despite the government saying that, they have to blend imported coal, which would be expensive. And if you look at the difference between tariffs sought and tariffs actually approved, there is still a wide gap. A 6 trillion accumulated dues is not going to go away even in 4 years. But are you seeing incremental reduction of these accumulated losses and a reduction in fresh losses?
So basically, around 2020-21, the first year of pandemic, obviously the total cash losses. See, I'm not looking at the book loss, but I'm looking at the loss. Plus, we are also adding back the regulatory assets, which would have been booked as income, but not collected. That would have peaked out at somewhere around 90,000 crores or thereabouts. Now, while we don't have the current estimates, given the, our estimate about, subsidy receipt, about AT&C losses and power cost increases, I would think that around currently the total losses will be somewhere around 50,000 crores, which is a substantial improvement. But 50,000 crore itself will be a fairly large. So out of the 50,000 crore, the book loss would be 30,000 crore, and another maybe 20 or 1,000 crore would be regulatory assets. So to bring down the cash loss to zero, we have to further reduce by 50,000 crore rupees on the base level, plus whatever increases are taking place because of higher power purchase cost. I mean, fine, we are getting a little bit of renewable energy also at lower cost, but at the same time, because of the blending of coal with imported coal, there is an increase in thermal power tariff. So whatever increase is taking place in the power purchase cost of the utilities, that also has to be passed. So if you have to look, for example, for the current 50,000 crores, gap, obviously this loss reduction of 4 to 5% will take care of about maybe 25-30,000 crores. But if you have to take care of the balance, even at the baseline, another amount of 2 to 3% additional tariff hikes will be required. In addition, we'll have to provide tariff hikes to take care of further increases in the power purchase costs. So that is broadly the ask that is required if we are to make the power sector truly self-sustainable on a cash basis.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. Let me tell you a brief history. I did a similar discussion in 2003 when Suresh Prabhu introduced the Electricity Act. We did a similar discussion in 2014 when the Uday scheme was announced by Piyush Goyal. And we are doing it again in 2023 in the hope that we will not have to do another discussion. I won't be around, but I hope the numbers will be so small that we will not have to do another discussion on whether discoms are returning to financial health. Thank you very much for joining me in this special discussion on Indonomics. There are more news and updates following.
Route Mobile's founder and Group CEO Rajdeep Gupta discusses the